welcome back. Today I have a special guest. She is my LCC.
My name is Debbie and I'm an LCC in the suburbs of Chicago. I've been doing this for about 8 or 9 years, working with cultural care.
Alright, that's nice. So you have been asking a lot of questions, and I think she is the best one to answer that because I don't know. Do you think it's gonna be possible to get the visa by the end of January or the beginning of January?
I don't think there's anybody who can answer that question. I think that
Yeah.
we are planning. We are planning for au pairs to arrive in January. We're all ready. We're matching, and we've got lots of. I have already about 8 au pairs that are matched to come here in January, and so that's how we're doing. We'll make adjustment and push. We'll just keep pushing the dates forward as long as you au pairs are available to still keep coming, and the families can wait, and all the families know that, and that they need to be prepared to find some other childcare if it's going to take a little longer. There's nobody who can answer that question for you. You can't Google it, you can't call the main office, you can't call the U.S. government, because nobody knows that answer yet.
And now that you told that the families are like matching with a lot of hours, but we don't know how long it's gonna take to get the visa appointment and everything. How is that process going through? I mean, you are online and you can match with them, but what happened with that match?
You make a match, and then you make your visa appointment, and every country's embassy will be different.
I see.
Some will say, okay, here's your appointment for a certain time, and that may change when it gets closer.
But if now the visas are canceled, how can you make an appointment with them?
I don't know, I guess I did hear one family say their au pair has a visa appointment for November. The embassy is open, and they can have their appointment, but the visa would be for January, for 2021.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
And also there's the visa ban exception, so once you're matched, if it looks like things won't open, then people will still may try to get exception for that. But
What are the requirements?
the exception is 3 things. 1, the host family, one of the parents is a doctor that treats COVID patients or is some kind of essential medical worker. The second is if you can prove that if you don't get an au pair, you could lose your job. You could lose your job, your husband could lose their job, and then you would be needing to get employment from the government. So if you can prove, like, let's say you can get a letter from your job, and you say, like, au pair right now is my only kind of child care I can get because, like, it's the only thing that's affordable for me, or if it's the only thing that will do the flexible hours I need. There are no babysitters in my area. I can't find any babysitters, but I have an au pair who can come, and I have a letter from my job that says if I don't have child care in the next 4 weeks, they're going to fire me, and then I'm going to have to, the state is going to have to help to support me. I'm going to need money from the government to live.
But that's like an extreme.
Yes, most people don't want to do that. Most people,
Right.
I'm not seeing, it's very hard to get that. Kind of sensitive.
Yeah, yes.
And the third one is if you have a child with special needs and you can show that you have found an au pair who will care for that child in the way that they need to, that is not going to be easy to find another way. So if you have a child who is deaf and you have an au pair who has no sign language, if you have a child who has diabetes and you found an au pair who has experience with kids with diabetes and knows how to give the shot or something, or even if you have a child who has behavioral problems or they're autistic and you've been taught that you can say, well, I've been talking to this au pair, my child is very attached to this au pair, talking on FaceTime, he's going to freak out if somebody new comes, if I have to hire somebody else. He needs this person because they've made a relationship already.
Oh.
That's an easier one.
So basically you need to find someone that has like a lot of experience.
Yeah, a lot of experience, or maybe just willing. Maybe you have a child who is autistic and in your area nobody wants to take care of your child. Maybe your child has behavioral problems and in your area you're like, I can't find anybody, and you've got this au pair in Colombia who's like, I want to come and take care of this child. That can get an exception. It's a little bit of a stretch.
Had that happen?
I haven't had anybody in Glencoe get a visa exception. So yet, so I just don't know, but they're getting them.
I was doing the takeover a few weeks ago, and I was talking with the manager, And she told me that in Colombia we are making exceptions, and what they do is like they match with the family and then they send her or him directly to the family without training school. They do like a training school but virtual.
Right.
So
Yeah.
do you know? Do you know
So the
about
training,
that?
yeah. So there's been no training school since the middle of March, and all the training has been virtual online since then.
Right, and I have a lot of questions to asking when is gonna be back the training school. We don't know.
I
either.
think that's going to be one of the last. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think we would all guess that will probably be one of the last things to come back. The virtual is working pretty well. What the State Department requires au pairs to learn at that training school, they can get online. They can do it online. So I think that'll be the last. That's going to be very risky. I think when a vaccine.
When a vaccine is found.
Yeah. I otherwise it's so risky.
Yeah,
to have
it
everybody
is.
together
It
like
is,
that,
but
so.
do you think it's gonna get back? Or now that
be
you're
gone forever?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you think it's gone forever?
I-
Because now that you're telling me that it's
Yeah.
going well virtual, maybe you
Well,
are
it's-
keeping it in that way.
We know the au pairs would rather all be together. We don't think we don't think au pairs are happy with it. We just know that they're able to get like the Red Cross CPR and the cultural it's covering what the visa requires, what the State Department requires. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know. That is not a conversation cultural care is having. Like, maybe it should go away forever. That's not something they're thinking about right now.
Yeah. And it's really soon to think about
It's too
that.
soon to think about it, but I think that's going to be a while.
Everything is going
I think
wild
it's going to,
right now.
Well, but I don't know. Look, if there's a vaccine tomorrow, there's not going to be a vaccine tomorrow. But if there's a vaccine, very soon, then it'll be sooner.
Stay positive.